If you have donated and have not received your video, shoot me an email and make sure to check your spam folder. Thank you for your support. Shalom.
Walk with me to New horizons. Come share the love you have. See visions of your love come true. No love is waiting there just for you.
So let's take a quick map study. This map is courtesy of Megalithic Portal, United States, the South. I believe the website's called megalithomania.uk. I just want to say, whoever made this, shout out to you. This is an excellent source just to be able to identify mounds. So what I want to do now is, since we're talking about New Orleans, the French, the colonization, especially of the Mississippi Valley, and especially this area of the country, I want to particularly look at the area between Baton Rouge and Memphis. Now, when we jump to this map, look at all of these mound sites. Look at all these mound sites right here in the Mississippi Valley. And these are between the states of Louisiana, Arkansas, and Mississippi in particular. Just look at the number of sites that have been identified. Of course, there are many more that have not been identified. These are the sites that have been identified. I mean, this is literally hundreds, if not thousands of mounds. Now, on this list, you can see that, there may be 100 mound sites here. But this is indicative of what? A much larger civilization. So you can see here that where all these mound sites are, the land has been literally plowed. It's almost ironic that most of these mound sites became plantations. Since the 1950s, Poverty Point has been the focus of professional archaeological excavations. The earthworks are named after a 19th century plantation on the property. The earthworks, the culture, is named after a plantation. One of the most sophisticated earthworks in North America, named after a plantation. So the real reason that this site is so significant is basically the sheer magnitude and the scale by which the people of the culture built, and obviously the size of the complex itself, and the fact that it makes a perfect semicircle and uses the riverbank. Basically, this is a mound masterpiece. And they date it to around 1700 to 1100 BCE. That's how they date it. That's what they say. I'm really not here at this point to argue their carbon dating. We've been debunking that. I'm not here to cape for the lack of antiquity for certain mounds or the full antiquity of other mounds. We're just going to use their numbers for now. We're just going to use whatever they say for now. You don't have to be conspiratorial to figure out that there's a massive cover-up going on. A historical cover-up. Search medieval paintings of pyramids from over 1,000 years ago and see if any exist. And do it fast before AI starts changing history by going back and adding bullshit to cover their tracks. Of the hundreds of thousands to millions of people that lived in Cairo, a Roman city, a blind bird's eye view less than 3 miles from Giza for thousands of years. Since the Greco-Roman era, nobody knew shit and nobody drew shit. And when they did actually start making art depicting the pyramids, it was this shit. and this shit, and this shit. And what the fuck is this shit? The world has the French to thank for all this new undiscovered history, right after they spoiled the Indians and double-crossed them in land treaties. Ironic, don't you think? Now, how exactly the French were able to stake a claim to a land they didn't actually own or inhabit is a wild mystery in itself. But it's also very essential in understanding their war tactics. Even crazier is the fact that through the French claim to the vast land in middle of America, Napoleon was supposedly the largest landowner in America, without ever having stepped foot on the continent. At this point, it's not even a wild speculation to question the outright existence of Napoleon in general. I mean, really, it seems like Napoleon was everywhere and nowhere at the same damn time. How difficult could it have been to fabricate a mythical, non-existent war hero ghost character at the time when long-distance communication was at the breakneck speed of one horse? It's ironic, that's how the Rothschilds became rich during a war fought by Napoleon. But I digress. Saint Denis, the largest city in the game, is named after Louis Juchereau Saint Denis, another French explorer from Quebec, who explored lower Louisiana west of the Mississippi, and erected the Fort Saint Jean Baptiste in Natchez, Louisiana. The name Saint Denis could also be an homage to the martyr Saint Denis, the bishop in France who was persecuted and decapitated sometime in the 3rd century. In the game, the state flag of Lemoyne has a depiction of the headless bishop holding his decapitated head. So throughout the process of researching this particular video, I actually remember several names from the game Red Dead Redemption that are found to be historically accurate and relevant to the history of Louisiana, to the point that I actually looked these people up. And I'm saying all that to say this: I believe some of these games really be dropping secret gems. Nobody walked a single cob of corn from Veracruz to Texas. Didn't do it. Corn never crossed the Rio Grande, my friend. Listen, guys. We radiocarbon dated it 27,000 times, and it must have been 3,500 BCE. You know, these are the same measures they use to date other places. So, yeah, whatever. We'll go with it. Oh, it's old. It's older than the pyramids. I had already mentioned the mounds on the campus of Louisiana State University, right by the stadium. So the LSU Tigers play right beside the mounds. And those mounds are even older than these mounds, apparently. Those mounds in Baton Rouge, which is another significant city, those mounds date 6,000 years. Man, you gotta love carbon dating. I just want to say that these mounds specifically have been dated to dates older than the pyramids, specifically Watson Break and the LSU campus mounds. there is a map of Louisiana mound sites where we know that they have identified somewhere close to 1,000 mounds. Actually identified 1,000 mounds. We have at least 2 sites in Louisiana that have been dated older than the pyramids. But the real question is, are these the oldest sites? Are there any other sites that are contemporaneous as far as the dating goes with these sites? Because that would mean that during the height of ancient Egypt, there is an entire civilization right here in the Mississippi Valley that would trump anything in terms of size and scale. Look at all these sites. Now, when you look at the map and when you zoom in, what do you see here? You see a lot of plowed land, a lot of plots, a lot of plantations. What happened here? Is the story being written on the land?